Hello everyone! Today we'll be making stir-fried pork with green peppers, or青椒小炒肉. We'll start by preparing the side ingredients. Prepare some coriander and sliced onions or spring onions in advance. We'll also need ginger, red bird's eye chilies, some garlic, and 2 screw peppers. We'll remove the stems from the screw peppers, then chop them into small pieces, about half the size of what you'll see here. You'll see the ideal size when I place the pieces on the plate to my left. I've cut them a little too big here. Cut the ginger in half lengthwise, then slice it at a diagonal. We'll then take slices the long way. This will produce diamond-shaped pieces. Repeat with the other half of the ginger. Remove the stems from the bird's eye chilies and cut them diagonally into a few pieces. If you prefer it more spicy, you may use more chilies and cut them more finely. For the garlic, we'll use the side of the knife to crush each garlic clove. We'll then chop the garlic into rough pieces. Don't use a garlic press as we want bigger pieces to add texture to the dish. Put the side ingredients aside. Now we'll prepare some lean pork. This cut is taken from the rear leg, but you can also use pork loin or tenderloin. Do your best to remove the silver skin. You'll also notice the grain structure of the pork is currently facing towards me. Take note of this as it is important. We'll remove the silver skin on the other side of the pork as well. I've cut the pork into 3 pieces, and I'm taking slices against the grain about 5 millimeters thick. It's important to slice against the grain to ensure tenderness. The total weight of the lean pork slices after trimming the silver skin is about 250 grams. We'll put those aside. We'll now prepare some pork belly. If your pork belly still has the skin on, we'll need to remove it. Don't forget to scrape off excess fat from the skin, as we can render that out for delicious and aromatic lard and crispy bits of rendered pork fat. We'll also trim excess fat from the pork belly. The processed pork belly has a total weight of about 150 grams. We'll now take slices about 3 millimeters thick. It needs to be thinner than the lean pork slices to allow for better fat rendering. You'll also notice I'm cutting at a diagonal to increase the surface area of the slices. We'll set the pork belly slices aside. We'll now rinse the lean pork slices to clean off any impurities. Drain the pork afterwards. I've prepared an egg white in a bowl. We'll add a tablespoon of cornstarch and whisk it in to form a slurry. The purpose of this slurry is to make the pork more tender. You can skip this if you're using pork tenderloin. If you're allergic to eggs, instead of using this slurry, you can add half a teaspoon of baking soda to the marinade. We'll now marinate the pork. Add half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of white pepper, 1 tablespoon of yellow wine, 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. Mix the marinade into the pork slices. Halfway through, whisk the egg and cornstarch slurry again to ensure the cornstarch is fully dissolved, then mix it into the pork. Finally, we'll add 1 tablespoon of oil to the pork to prevent the pork slices from sticking together. We'll also rinse the pork belly slices again to remove any impurities and drain them afterwards. We're now ready to cook. We'll heat up the wok over medium-high heat, and then fill it with enough oil to cover the lean pork slices. Once the oil reaches temperature, add in the lean pork slices. Don't stir immediately, as the pork will initially stick to the wok. Instead, let the pork sear for a minute. It will stop sticking eventually, after which you can stir it. Once the pork slices are mostly cooked through, set them aside and drain the excess oil. If you've saved the excess bits of fat, now's the time to render them in the wok over medium-low heat. Once rendered and crispy, you can save the bits of fat for later. Heat up the wok over medium-high heat again. We'll add in the pork belly slices, then stir them and let them cook until the fat renders out. We'll now add the screw peppers, chilies, and ginger. Stir everything together and fry until aromatic. Add more oil if needed. You should have some left over from frying the lean pork slices. Once the screw peppers are blistered, reduce the heat to low and add a tablespoon of doubanjiang, or hot broad bean paste, into the oil. Stir it into the oil, then mix the ingredients in. This step must be done on low heat to prevent the doubanjiang from burning. If you have G6PD deficiency, you can substitute with regular chili paste or just skip it. Once well mixed, turn the heat up to high, add the garlic and fry until aromatic. Then add the onions or spring onions and fry until aromatic. The goal is to keep the onions and screw peppers slightly crunchy. Add the lean pork slices back in and fry everything together. Drizzle in a tablespoon of light soy sauce from the side of the wok, then mix it in. We'll turn the heat down to low and add some seasoning. This is a mix of salt, sugar, chicken essence, and monosodium glutamate. I added about 2 teaspoons. Then mix it in. Drizzle in a tablespoon of sesame oil and mix it in. Then pour it onto a serving plate, add the rendered bits of fat and some coriander, and you're ready to serve this absolutely delicious stir-fried pork. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.